Hello, Dale's math class. So we are going to be talking about the area of squares and rectangles. So here we go. We've got our squares, which have four sides, and they're all equal, and they're 90-degree angles. So all equal sides, all their measurements are equal lengths. And then for our rectangles, if you notice, I've got these two have the same length, and then these two have the same length. So I have two sets of equal lengths for my rectangle. Two sets equal length, or equal measurement, equal sides. And then this is what we are talking about today. So let's just jump right into what is the formula for the area of squares and rectangles. So the area is our base. We take base and we multiply it by the height. So we take base times height, and it's as simple as that for our squares and rectangles. We've got our base and our height. We've got our base and our height. So let's go ahead and get started on some examples. So we're going to do our squares first. And just like before, I want you all to have your piece of paper ready so you can do yours also. So we're going to work on the one together, and then you've got yours individually. I'll give you time to do that. So first, let's take and we're going to do 5 inches. And since we're talking about squares here, all sides are equal. All sides are equal. So let's go ahead and identify base and height. Well, even though they're all the same, let's go ahead and go through that process. It's a good idea. So we've got our base is 5 inches. And we've got our height is 5 inches. So using that formula that I had, area equals base times height, let's go ahead and take so area equals our base is 5 and our height is 5. So we're going to take 5 times 5, and you can write it as, it's the same as 5 squared, which is 5 times 5 is, oh, fantastic, 25. So we've got our area is 25, but we need to add in our last part, which is, what are we talking about? What's our unit of measure? And it's inches. So this was inches and inches. So this would be inches squared as well. So my answer is inches squared, because it's telling me I'm taking an inch times an inch. Now if I had 3 inches, it would be inch times inch times inch. So that would be inch to the third, which that is volume. That is later. All right, now it is your turn. So on your piece of paper, go ahead and figure out base and height, and jump forward to, what is your area? Pause it. You should be solving this, not waiting for me. All right, so what is our base? 4 inches. What is our height? Again, 4 inches, because we're talking about a square. So base times height, so I've got 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is, right, 16. And our measurement, which I have it all sorts of messed up inside there, we're going to say is meters. Oof. So I've got meters squared. So I've got 16 meters squared. That's actually quite a lot. All right, so now on to our rectangles. So again, we've got what we're going to do together and what you need to do by yourself. So go ahead and write that down. Or you can pause it and write it down too. This is good technology here. So we've got 6 feet by 2 feet. So we're going to identify the same thing like we did with our square. What is our base? What is our height? So our base is 6 feet at the bottom here, 6 feet. And our height is 2 feet. So we've got 2 feet. And just like the square, the formula will be area equals base times height. So let's go ahead and put that together. Base times height. So then we end up with 12 feet squared. Again, remember that square, that is very important. It tells us what we're actually talking about. When we have that square, we're talking about area. If it is cubed to the third power, that means we're talking about volume. So two different things here. But something to point out, if you mix these two up, guess what? It's going to be okay. Because of the commutative property, I could take 2 times 6. Guess what? That still equals 12. So if I mess up the order, I'm still going to get the right answer. All right, so now your turn. Go ahead and get started on this one. All right, so what is your base? 4. All right. Just because of the way this is just slightly, this is just turned. Still a rectangle. And our height? 5. So we've got our area formula, which is base times height. So what two numbers am I multiplying together? Nice. 5 and 4, or 4 times 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. Woo! Nice work. And again, what's our unit of measurement? And we're talking about yards. And the square says this is area. Okay? So now we've got 20 yards squared. All right. So that wraps up our area for squares and rectangles. Look forward to seeing you next week with triangles. Bye.